Hello everyone, welcome to UniVoyage. This is Rushil Shekhar, and today we're going to go through some concepts and some sums of sequences in series. So let's begin. So sequences are an ordered set of numbers, right? So let's take 2, 8, 17, 21, and so on. So this would form a sequence. So what is a series? A series is a addition of these terms of a sequence, right? So you should know the difference between the two, because these trivial terms might be asked to you during your interview. So you should always have your concepts clear, right? So you might be aware of some special type of sequences, which are arithmetic progression, geometric progression, and harmonic progression. Right, so let's begin with AP. So here are some formulae which you should know when you're talking about the arithmetic progression, right? So I'll explain this to you through an example. Let's say we have 1, 3, 5, 7, and so on. We're asked to find the 20th term of this sequence. So T20 would be A, which is 1, plus n minus 1, which is 19, into D. So what is the common difference here? The common difference you can clearly see is 2, right? This would give you 39. Let's say if you're asked to find the sum of the first 10 numbers, which is S10, this would be equal to n by 2, which is 10 by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1d, which is 9 into 2. This would be 5. And this would be 18 plus 2, 20. This would give you 100. All right. I also wanted to show you the statements which are given here. Let's say the sum of 4 terms of an AP is 20, and the product of the middle two terms, alright, the middle two terms is 24. So find the terms of the sequence. So if we take the same terms which are given here, a minus 3d, a minus d, a plus d, and a plus 3d is equal to 20. So if we cancel these terms out, we'll get 4a is equal to 20 and a is equal to 5. The middle two terms are a minus d and a plus d, which would form the a square minus b square formula. So this will be a square minus d square is equal to 24. If you substitute the value of a, you would get the value of d as d square would be equal to 1. So your d can take two values here, which is d is equal to plus 1 and d is equal to minus 1. So if d is equal to plus 1, the terms would be a minus 3d. So there'll be 5 minus 3, which is 2. Similarly, 5 minus 1, which would be 4, 6, and 8. This is when d is equal to 1. If d is equal to minus 1, you will get the reverse order, which is 8, 6, 4, and 2. Okay, let's proceed. Now we have geometric progression here. So just make sure that you make a note of all these statements which are given here. Again, I'll just give you an example. Let's say we have a GP where the first term is 288, 144, 72, and so on. And here we are asked to find the sum of the first 6 terms. So we'll write it as A into 1 minus r raised to n upon 1 minus r. Since r here is, we can clearly see here r is half, right? Because each term is getting half here. So here the r would be 1 by 2. Okay, so the first term is 288. Here we'll write as 1 minus 1 by 2 raised to 6. Divide by 1 minus 1 by 2. We can take this up. This will become 288 into 2 into 2 raised to 6 minus 1 divided by 2 raised to 6. So we can cancel this 2 and this 2 here. This will become 2 raised to 5. And 2 raised to 5, which is 32, goes 9 times by 288. So this would become 9. It would give you 9 into, it would be 2 raised to 6 minus 1, which is 64 minus 1, 63 into 9, which is 567. So let's proceed. So here we given some important formulae relating to harmonic progression. HP is not really asked in the examination. So let's say we have a sequence of 1 by 1, 1 by 4, 1 by 7, 1 by 10. So what would be the next term of the sequence? So this you'd have to do through HP. So harmonic progression is basically the reciprocal of an AP. So here you can clearly see that 1, 4, 7 and 10, they are in AP. So the next term would clearly be 1 by 13. So I also want you to note this very important inequality where the arithmetic mean is more than the geometric mean is more than the harmonic mean, and the formula of all three of them is given here. So make sure you make a note of it. So let's proceed. So the first question is, we have to find S, where S is equal to 1 upon 4 square minus 1 plus 1 upon 6 square minus 1 plus 1 upon 8 square minus 1. So let's try to break it down. So 1 by 4 square minus 1, which here this is equal to 1 by 15, right? So we can write this is 1 upon 3 into 5. Let's leave it here. Let's go to the next term, which is 1 upon 6 square minus 1, which is 1 upon 35. We can write this as 1 upon 5 into 7. The next term is 1 upon 8 square minus 1, which is 1 upon 63. So you can notice here that there are some common terms here like 5, 5, 7, 7. So we can cancel them out. How, you ask? Let's see. Let's write this is 5 minus 3 upon 3 into 5, and 5 minus 3 is half. So let's take that outside. Okay. So if we go forward with writing this, you'll get 1 upon 3 minus 1 upon 5. Similarly, you can write 1 upon 5 into 7 as half into 7 minus 5. Since 7 minus 5 is equal to 2 upon 5 into 7. This will again give you 1 upon 1 by 5 minus 1 by 7. And in the same pattern, you can write it as half into 1 by 7 minus 1 by 9. So in the end, if this goes on till infinity, you can write this whole sequence as half into 1 by 3 minus 1 by 5 plus 1 by 5 minus 1 by 7 plus 1 by 7 minus 1 by 9 and so on. 1 by 5 would be cancelled by 1 by 5, and all the terms which precede the sequence will be cancelled out by each other. So you'll only be left with 1 by 2 into 1 by 3, which would be 1 by 6. This is your answer. Let's go ahead. So if X, Y, Z are in GP and P, Q and R are in AP, then find the value of X raised to R minus Q into Y raised to P minus R into Z raised to Q minus P. Here by the definition of GP, we know that Y square is equal to XZ, and here we know that Q minus P is equal to R minus Q. So if you can't understand this, please go back to the formulae, and if you have any doubts, you can ask your doubts in the comment section and we'll answer them. So let's break down this question here. X raised to R minus Q into Y raised to P minus R into Z raised to Q minus P. We can write this as X Z raised to R minus Q into Y raised to P minus R, and this is from equation 1 here. because q minus p is the same as r minus q, so we can combine x and z, right? This is from equation 1. We can write this as y square into r minus q into y raised to p minus r. Now we can club these terms as 2r minus 2q plus p minus r, right? Now we can write this as y raised to 2r minus p minus r plus p minus r. So all the terms get cancelled, and in the end you get it as y raised to 0, which is equal to 1. So just go through the question and look at the identities which we've used. And if you don't understand anything, please post it out in the comment section. We will answer them. The question 3 says, if k is equal to 1 upon x plus 1 upon y into x plus y, find the minimum value of k. So let's expand upon this term. 1 upon x plus 1 upon y into x plus y. So this would give you 1 upon x into x would be 1 plus y upon x plus 1 plus x by y, right? This would give you 2 plus, let's write as y by x, and we can write x by y as 1 upon y by x. Let's take y by x as a. So a plus 1 by a, what is the minimum value of this? So we know that am is greater than or equal to gm, right? So the sum of two terms, which is a plus 1 by a divided by 2, is more than or equal to root of a into 1 by a, which gets cancelled. So here we have a plus 1 upon a is greater than or equal to 2. So the minimum value of a plus 1 by a is equal to 2. So we can write this as 2 plus 2, which should give you 4. There you go. Let's go on to the next question. If 7 times the 7th term in an AP is equal to the 18 times the 18th term, what is the 25th term of the same AP? So let's write this. So 7 times the 7th term, which is a plus 6d, is equal to 18 times the 18th term, which is a plus 17d. Let's try to open the brackets. 7a plus 42d is equal to 18a plus 18 into 17, which is 306d, right? So we can write 0 is equal to 11a plus 264d, and a plus 24d is equal to 0. You can take 11 common here, and a plus 24d is equal to 0, which is what is being asked to us. This is actually the 25th term of the AP, so the answer here would be 0. So you can actually generalize this question. So let's say if q times the qth term is equal to r times the rth term, then if you're asked the q plus rth term of the same AP, it is always going to be equal to 0. Okay, let's go to the next question. Find the sum of 2 by 3 plus 5 by 3 square plus 8 by 3 cube plus 11 by 3 raised to 4 till infinity. So you can notice here that in the numerator we have an AP, right? We have a difference of 3 here as well, and here a difference of 3. And the denominator you can see a GP, which is into 3 into 3 into 3. So what we'll do here is that we'll call this as S, and we'll multiply both sides by the common ratio. Okay, so what is the common ratio here? It's 1 by 3. So it will be 1 by 3 S is equal to 2 by 3 square plus 5 by 3 cube plus 8 by 3 raised to 4 and so on. Now we'll just subtract the second equation from the first equation. What we get is 2 by 3 of s is equal to 2 by 3 plus, here if you subtract 5 minus 2 by 3, that will be 3 by 3 square plus 3 by 3 cube plus 11 minus 8, which is 3 by 3 raised to 4 and so on, right? Here you can write this as 2 by 3 plus 3 by 3 square, so that is actually 1 by 3. You can take the sum of infinite GP here. We can apply that formula here because it is diminishing. So 1 by 3 upon 1 minus 3 is equal to 2 by 3 of s, and this would be equal to s here, it would be equal to 3 by 2 into 2 by 3 plus 3 minus 1 by 3. So this would actually give you 1 upon 3 upon 2 by 3. Here 3 and 3 would get cancelled. You'll get half. And here you'll get it as 3 by 2 upon 3 by 2 into 7 by 6, which is 7 by 4. There's an easier way to solve these questions. I'll tell you the formula for that. But just make a note of this so that you can understand the logic behind that formula. So this here is called a arithmetico-geometric progression, which is AGP. So the direct formula for AGP series is the sum here would be equal to the first term, let's call it as A, upon 1 minus R, where R here is the common ratio, plus B R upon 1 minus R square. D is the common difference, R is the common ratio, and B here is first term of GP. So here the first term of the GP would be 1 by 3, not 2 by 3. Here A is the first term as a whole. The B would be the first term of the GP, not considering the numerator here. So the first term of the GP would be 1 by 3, right? Let's use this formula in this question. So the sum would be the first term. The first term is 2 by 3 upon 1 minus 1 by 3 plus, what is the common difference here? It is 3, right? 3. You clearly see it's 3. 3 into first term of the GP, which is 1 by 3. Similarly, the common ratio is also 1 by 3 upon 1 minus 1 by 3, the whole square. So here, if you go on to solve this, you'll get 1 minus 1 by 3 is equal to 2 by 3. So this gets cancelled, and this will give you 1 plus, here 3 and 3 would be cancelled, and this would give you 1 by 3 divided by 1 minus 1 by 3, which is 2 by 3 the whole square, and this would give you 4 by 9. Here 3 and 3 would get cancelled. The final answer would be 1 upon 3 plus 4, which would be 7 by 4. We get the exact same answer here. So just make sure that you make a note of this direct formula. It will be really useful and save you loads of time if this question comes in the examination. So thank you. Hope you enjoyed the session. And please like, share, and subscribe to this video. And also join a Telegram channel so you can post your doubts there, and we can give you multiple sheets for you to solve and enhance your preparation. Thank you, and keep watching UniVoyage.